So I think it was on somewhere on the Force of Will TCG Reddit page that I saw this guy being used for a fairy deck, and since I like tribal, I decided, and I didn't get the Alice for that deck, why not use this guy, this tree for fairy, because of his ability here. Don't know if you can read it. Let's see if you can read it. Basically, you get a second chance and you get free stuff. Free stuff's always good. So first, I'm going to talk about the free stuff that gets you, and I'm running two of the free things. Why two of them? Because I figure if I have two of both the free cards, with there being deck destruction and hand destruction in this game, it would up my chances of actually being able to have one at the bottom of my deck. You don't really want to see them, but you don't want them to be gone if the opponent gets rid of them. So yeah, there's two of each of the free ones. I managed to get a foil of the Alice. So yeah, Alice here is a buffer for your hit points. And then I threw these guys in because as I might not be able to search them, but playing them for free once my life hits seems like a good deal, especially since I can block multiple things. So these, I don't know how good life gain is, so there's only one of them, but this section of fairies right here is all about the fairies that interact with other fairies. Either recursion, dex sifting, or other fairy stuff. Recursion with the dark fairies, the black moon fairies, which are four off in here. As I said, there's recursion. Water Sprite, that you get a fairy off the top of your deck card from the top of your deck, aka deck filtering, and they both cost one. And then there's the Flame Spirit. Then I noticed there was recursion for this spell, and it targets and you can play it for free if it targets a fairy, so you don't need to worry about having the right Kaya for it or running out of the right Kaya. So it was a no-brainer to put this in, and the ways to recur it. Either from your graveyard with these, it also pumps fairies, which is good. Which are three of you. And you, which is also three of you, right? You get it from the deck if you pay that, and that gets it from the graveyard. Getting your deck thinner is always a good thing. That's why, and getting cards back from your graveyard is a good thing. That's why I have Nimue and Elaine in the deck. I really wasn't sure about the rest of the cards because there was quite a bit of fairy cards, so I wasn't really sure what to do with the rest of the deck, so I just put cards that do with fairies in it, like Circle of Trust, which is 2-0, Excalibur. I may not have a J roll. It is a mat. It does speed up my mana production. It is ramp. That's why it's in there. There are some nasty Resonators, which I don't know if they should be in the deck. I'll be honest. These cards, I'm unsure if they should be in the deck. Having quick cast is good, which means you can play them at the end of your opponent's turn. I don't know how good Fairy Tribal is. I don't know what I'm doing with this deck. The low cast fairy cards that work together, and the protection of fairy finders and stuff will hook with second fairy. I don't really know what I'm doing with this deck. But this guy giving you fairies quick cast is good. This person bumping fairies when you play them is also good. And you can put fairies into play. There's a lot of fairies in the deck that cost one, so I should be able to get this off. This is my only Force of Will deck with a sideboard. I've never been good at building sideboards, but I don't really know what I'm doing with a Force of Will deck, and I like tribal, so I figured I would at least try. I put thought that, and I gave away my. I split my cards between me and my friend. My friend got most of my green and light cards, my wind and light cards, so I wanted to have options with this deck before I gave away all my green and light cards, so I built a sideboard for this deck, because there's other cards that work with fairies besides what's in the deck, such as this can get a fairy and put it back into play, because most fairies cost 2 or less. There's 4 of them. This seems powerful, but it also seems... I don't know if this is a good card or not. Should be because it's there. Uncommon. Should be because it's uncommon. You would this is a good spell. You recover what you paid for it, and then you can reduce any color of mana. Which means the main mana color is green and wind and light for the deck. I don't know how good Mana Excel is in Force of Will, but that's what this is. This is Mana Excel. Way more expensive than any of the other fairies. So you could... I don't know if this is a good fairy or not. I'm sure it has a high tag, but it costs way more than other fairies, so I just don't know. I gave my friend a playset of these, and a counterspell is a counterspell, and counterspells are annoying and good. Therefore, I want to at least keep one counterspell. And I figure since I have so many fairy of at least one fairy of each color, I could technically use this as a win con in the deck. I don't know if this is a good win con for a fairy deck or not, but yeah. Besides my affinity deck, this is probably the deck with the most versatile mana base. Because you have the 2 that you have white green, white black, fairy memorial, white black, light water. Sure, it requires filtering, but I figure this would be good for this deck. I don't know. It produces one of every color. That's why it's in here. If I had a fairy memorial, it would replace this in a heartbeat. I'm actually thinking of buying more fairy memorials for this deck. Because they seem really good for this type of deck. That was my Yggdrasil fairy deck. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.